Hello fellow shadows, welcome back to another video, and I hope you all are staying well and safe in this whole situation where the world is scared out of their minds with the coronavirus. I kind of got this video idea from watching the John Campea show. He's one of the YouTubers that I usually watch. So if you guys are like a fan of like people reviewing stuff or giving their thoughts, John Campea is one suggestion that I think you guys will enjoy. I don't agree with with everything that he says, but I respect his statements where he stands. But one thing that did come up in the John Campea show, like I think it was like earlier this week or last week, and it was one of his viewers asking him, does he think AMC will survive through this coronavirus shit? And truthfully, I've been thinking about that. Like, how do I feel about it ever since I've seen John Campea addressed it on his channel. Which, if you guys want to see his view, I advise you guys to go on his channel. I'll try to find the video and put in the pinned comment below so you guys can actually see his side too. But I don't think so. I think they're in danger of being shut down because this coronavirus got a lot of people scared, and it has shut a lot of things down. Movie theaters, some stores, some restaurants. Some restaurants are even doing drive-by pickup where you can order online and then you can drive to whatever restaurant that you order from. And they deliver the food to you. Sorry for that pause. I was trying to think of the proper way of saying it without coming off weird, or in the best way you guys can get my point. But so yeah, that was the best. So yeah, So I know some restaurants will survive through like that. Some stores will survive through that, but will the movie theaters survive? Because all the AMC movies shut down, or theaters shut down. So here's the thing. Do I think that AMC will survive? Well, I do note that if they file bankruptcy, there will be some sort of law where they'll be protective under. But, and even if they don't go through the whole bankruptcy thing, I'm pretty sure like something like Apple or Amazon or Disney, HBO, or whatever will buy them out, and they will somehow be saved. Even like some major company now, like I said, Disney, Apple, ABC. Even though I understand that ABC is under Disney, will ultimately buy AMC out to save them. Because think about this. AMC is like it's like the biggest movie theater chain in general. With they shut down, I don't really know how many theaters would be able to, like, how many theaters will stand. Because AMC is like this most prominent theater in general. I know, like, there's a few dinner, sit down, like, some movie theaters that has, where you can eat dinner at, and I they probably will be the first ones to go before AMC does, because I don't know if they're smaller or bigger than AMC, but AMC, I have every faith that they will somehow be saved from being like Borders or Media Play, which I'm willing to bet you, like, people who were like born after like 2005 doesn't even know what Media Play is or Borders. I'll be surprised if you guys do. Like, you know, because Borders was like Barnes & Noble. Borders was the Barnes & Noble before Barnes & Noble became popular. Media Play was kind of like the Best Buy kind of today, if that makes sense. And the reason why I bring those two up is that those two were my favorite, like, two of my favorite stores growing up when I was a kid. And they both shut down, and I was sad when Media Play shut down. But when Borders shut down, I was like really sad, like, no! But thankfully, there was another book place that still breathed life into like the books industry, to my knowledge, like the major one, which would be Barnes & Noble. And could those two companies have been saved? Probably. I'm not sure, but probably. But, like I said, I have every faith that AMC will be ultimately okay. Sure, they will take some sort of hit. And yeah, they might have to go file for bankruptcy. But I have a feeling that they will ultimately be alright. Rather they have to file for bankruptcy or get bought out by Apple or a Disney company, which is like Disney itself, or ABC, or some other big franchise nowadays. That I have faith that AMC will somehow pull through. So I guess that does answer the question of, do I personally think AMC will be alright? And just in case if you guys couldn't tell from my long explanation and the answer I just gave not so long ago, yes, AMC will be alright. I have every faith in them. They will hurt a bit. They clearly are, but they will be alright. And let's pretend that let's go into the whole side where I'm wrong and they're not alright and they do shut down. The popcorn companies wouldn't make as much money. The candy companies wouldn't make as much money. What else? The movies themselves probably wouldn't make as much money as they usually have, at least within like the first year after this whole crisis has been averted. People say, well, yeah, they can go on streaming sites like Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu or whatever. Or companies can pull a Disney and make their own companies and stream their content on there. I mean, Disney is no stranger of uploading their content without going to the movie theaters. I mean, look at Lady and the Tramp. That's one movie that didn't make it to theaters but went straight to the streaming service. And Marvel could easily say, hey, you know what? With this epidemic, we aren't going to release Black Widow in theaters. We're going to release it on Disney Plus, because there is a Marvel section on Disney Plus. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't like if the scenario where I'm wrong. Yeah, I would not be surprised if some movies will go on the streaming services. And speak of movies that could potentially go on streaming services, if I'm wrong, Wonder Woman. They have DC Comics has their own streaming service. Or they had Titans, which I have not downloaded the DC app, but DC Comics has their own streaming service. They could easily put every single DC Comics movie and show onto the DC Comics app. Even the Arrowverse shows, which I'll be sad if they take the Arrowverse off of Netflix. But if they do that, they could easily put the Arrowverse onto the DC Comics app, because, well, the Arrowverse is a DC Comics property thing. But, my point being, if I'm wrong, companies could make their own streaming services and just start putting their content, putting their movies onto those streaming services. Which I'm kind of hoping that is not will be the case. Even though streaming is a big thing nowadays, it's a trend nowadays, but I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm choosing to stay optimistic, so hence I'm going to say yes. I'm going to still stick by my original answers. Yes, AMC will be alright. Yeah, they're going to hurt a bit. It might take them a little bit of time to bounce back, to make as much money as they were before, and potentially more. But they will be alright ultimately. Whether they have to file bankruptcy and then somehow prosper through that way, or get bought out by some major company nowadays. That's major nowadays. One of those two, or they just might be lucky and don't have to get bought out by a company or get or file for bankruptcy. Maybe they'll be that lucky. I don't know, but I do believe that they'll be hurt at some extents. To a certain point, but not too much. Not to the point where they can't bounce back. But yeah, ultimately I think they'll be okay. I have every faith in AMC that they'll be able to pull through this epidemic that's called the coronavirus that everybody's losing their crap over. So that's my side. What's your guys' side? Do you guys feel that the AMC theaters or movie theaters in general will be negatively affected by this coronavirus, or do you think that they'll somehow pull through this coronavirus scare? Let me know in the comment section below. And I'm just going to say this right now because my father said this and I'm in total agreement with him. This coronavirus, and I'm not as really scared of it, even though I am aware that it can cause death. I'm not in any way of saying it's not serious, because it is. But this coronavirus will ultimately change everything. We might not see the changes right away, but this coronavirus, after it's over, will make the entire world look at how we've been doing things in a different way. It will change things. It's changed things right now. We might not exactly see it right now because a lot of us are freaking out, present party not included, but yeah, it's going to change a lot of stuff. Movie theaters is definitely going to be one of them. And who knows, maybe AMC will say, hey, we can, if you're like a Stubbs member, you get to stream watching movies that you paid for at the comfort of your house. Yeah, you might if you're a Stubs member, you get like a discounted price off. If you're not a Stub member, you have to pay like the normal ticket price. That could be one way that AMC could still make money even after this crisis is over, and could ultimately prevent them from being at risk at shutting down if we're ever in this situation again, which we probably will be, because there was like the plague, which a lot of people were well, there was a lot of deaths, and it was serious too, and it got a lot of people scared. But we managed to go through the plague, so I have faith that if we manage to go through the plague stage in our history, we can get through the coronavirus stage. But like I said, ultimately, I feel like AMC will ultimately be fine, and that they'll pull through. Ultimately, prospect rise higher than they were ever. So, again, what do you guys think about AMC? Do you guys think that AMC will pull through this coronavirus scare, or do you guys think that due to the coronavirus scare that AMC Theaters will be no more? Leave a comment down below, and have a nice day. I love you all, and be kind to one another.